And that's on top is Angel Moroni, right?
All I can say is that this place is very peaceful. There are many plants and trees where I think it helps with the peace of mind that you want or the calmness that you want to have. So if you go here, I assure you that you can feel that this place is very sacred.
So guys, as you can see, it is also engraved there on what year it was erected. So it was erected 2024.
Simply promise and you.
So guys, as you can see, we're now here with promise.
Yeah, we are the temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints here at Urdaneta, and today happens to be her first time visiting the temple of the church.
So guys, all I can say is from the outside, even my friends have told me it feels like we're not in the Philippines because of the environment. I would say it's like I'm in the main building of our Supreme Court here in the Philippines. That's the vibe here. And it's very quiet, it's very peaceful. And I can see some of the members are here. If I'm not mistaken, some of them are with their families. So they're also with their children. And I can see some of the caretakers here taking care of the environment. Yeah? Am I right?
So let me show you around.
So I don't know where you're going to take me.
So I just want to show her around, show her how organized and how beautiful the temple is. So she'll see it, especially for her coming from a Catholic background, so that she would get to know the difference between the temple and our normal meeting houses. So she'll see.
Yeah, it feels different, guys, because since I'm a Roman Catholic, most of our cathedrals and churches are inspired by European buildings, like the Baroque styles. But here it's a different kind of situation. And I can see so many trees and plants.
In our church we don't see, this is the temple, so in our church we don't see till death do you apart. So in our church we say till for time and eternity. So over here, by the power of the priesthood that was restored through the prophet Jesus Smith, they form temple civil or temple marriage, whereby families and couples can have an everlasting union. Death will not separate them, but even in the resurrection they come together and still be together. We believe that the family union still exists beyond the grave. So this is why we have temples. So we are very, very grateful for the restoration of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and that is why I keep saying I'm proud to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ on earth. So this is it. This is the temple. I'm so happy.
So guys, as you can see, it is also engraved there on what year it was erected. So it was erected 2024. Yeah, and as you can see here, it says Holiness of the Lord, the house of the Lord. Look at that. And that's on top is Angel Moroni, right?
So even in the tabernacles of old, even the Old Testament, you would see inscriptions like "Holiness to the Lord, the house of God." So most of the things that people see in our temples are not things that were just made up by the church. They are mostly scriptural. So temples are really needed. We need temples, and temples are where we bridge eternities. So this is one of the essence of having a temple. So that is why we keep saying, for those that are not members of the church, if you're not a member of the church, you have about the temple?
Actually po, sa Tagalog po ba?
Yeah, you can go ahead, Tagalog.
Actually, it's my first time to go here in the Urdaneta temple because I'm busy at work. Pero ano, masaya ako kasi sobrang peaceful talaga dito sa temple. Tapos, syempre, makakamit ka ng mga like kapatid natin, mga members natin na mga approachable, syempre. Diba, na, yun, masaya. Tapos, ma-feel mo yung spirit.
Sino pong kasama nyo ngayon?
Ayun, kasama ko po yung asawa ko, tsaka yung baby ko.
Okay, so see guys, some of them are with their families.
Are you still are you still in the temple now with your family?
Yes, we were sealed back in 2023.
Okay.
Actually, we just we just celebrated our second anniversary last April 14th.
That's good.
We got married in the Manila temple because it's not open.
Yes, yes.
2 years ago.
So what would you say to those that are not members of the church? What would you say to them? What is your advice to those that are not members of the church?
Pwede po kayong mag-visit po sa temple sa mga temples po na malapit sa inyo. Kung may ma-meet kayo ng mga full-time missionaries, so pwede niyo po silang kausapin. Pwede kayo magtanong patungkol po sa church namin, and 100% guarantee na sasagutin nila yung mga tanong ninyo.
Okay, so now guys, we're done with the main temple, right? This one.
Yes.
So we're going to another building called.
The ancillary building.
And what's that for?
So ancillary building is more of like the place is more like a recreational area for members who have visited the temple. It's just like a place where they unwind. So over there we sell sacred materials like scriptures and other things that are really related in the church. Members can also rest there. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like recreational. You can just chill out there and wait for your family members that are still not yet done with the temple ordinances. So that is why I'm taking Maria, because I have given her some materials from the church. So I want to show her where I buy some of those things.
Okay.
The temple.
Where are we going now? Okay.
But let me show the places where we buy sacred materials, sacred clothing that we wear in our church. So this is the place, this is the distribution center. As you can see, it is closed now. This is the schedule. So they are closed now because we are a bit late. One of the reasons why they close earlier on Saturdays because the church is so heavy on Sabbath day preparation, because tomorrow is Sabbath day, Sunday. So the church would want to allow its members to go home and prepare earlier for Sabbath day, because the most sacred and the most important day in the week in our church is the Sabbath day on Sunday. So this is where we buy everything. This is what we are doing there. Sorry, I had to drink water there because the Savior Jesus Christ is the fountain of living waters. So if I'm in his house and his sacred house, I think it's safe to drink from water that is accessible to me here in his house. So that's what I did.
See those paintings, guys. There are so many of it inside. So this is their kitchen.
So hello guys, we I'm done with today's tour. Like I said, she's a Roman Catholic. Today happens to be her first time touring the temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints here at the Urdaneta temple here in the Philippines. So how would you summarize of your experience so far?
Okay. So first of all, I'm very very thankful that he invited me um, to go here at this temple, since I know that he is a very active member of his church, and it's a big thing for me to be invited to go here at one of their temples here in the Philippines. So all I can say is that this place is very peaceful. There are many plants and trees where I think it helps with the peace of mind that you want or the calmness that you want to have. So if you go here, I assure you that you can feel that this place is very sacred. This place is full of love, especially these faithful members are here. I also saw so many of them, um, also with their families. So imagine seeing a family in a holy place like this. It will really touch your heart.
Yeah, that's very true. Our church is a family conscious church. We care so much about families. That is why in our church we say that families are forever. So speaking of families are forever, earlier when I was explaining to you what we do in the temple, I made mention about ordinances. Was it weird for you when I made mention about some of the ordinances we do inside the temple?
Um, for me, it's not that weird. I can't say that it's weird, but it's very different from what I've learned in my faith or in our religion, because I'm a Roman Catholic. Um, Specifically, when you have mentioned about the baptism of the dead, because in our church, baptism is made during the infancy period, in which we also have this called godmothers or godparents. But here they don't do the baptism during the infancy; they do it at 8 years old. And for the dead people, we offer a holy mass for them. So the priest will bless the body um, before they will put it in the cemetery. So it's a holy mass, but not a baptism. So I was very shocked.
Yeah, that's true. Like I said, we believe in a just God. We believe that God is just, and in as much as He's also just, He's also merciful. So these are some of His divine attributes. So if you are to meet your fellow Roman Catholics, like those who have never visited the temple, like what would you really tell them concerning the temple?
I would say, because like for me, I have friends in my hometown who are also members of this church, and they kind of like introduced me to their way of living as members of their church. But all I can say is that if you're Roman Catholic and you want to know more about their faith, since we also have this kind of, sometimes we just want to what do you call this, to learn something from other religions. We want to learn their way of living as members. Sometimes we just want to ask things about them since we are curious. So if you're curious like me, and especially if you have LDS friends too, you can ask them basic questions, and then you can also visit here at the temple with their guidance.
Yeah, that's true. So, like I said, I'm a proud member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I love this church so much. And for those that might not really be getting the real information about the church, or for those that are genuinely interested in knowing about the church, I would advise you to go to our church official website, www.churchofjesuschrist.org, or we have many meeting houses all over the Philippines and everywhere, almost everywhere in the world. Walk in there and ask questions. And I also encourage you, have you seen those young men wearing white shirts? And even some women with name tags there. speak to them about the church. They will explain to you further here. Okay, and let me also say this before I end. I know people might be asking, oh, what is the prerequisites or to enter the temple? This is all I have to say. The temple is open for all, but inside the main building of the temple, where we perform those ordinances, we have what we call the temple recommend, something like this. So for you to get a temple recommend, you have to go through your bishop and your stake president. So you would have to go for temple recommend interview. And, and if you have been deemed worthy to go to the temple, they will issue you a temple recommend. So for me, I have it now. I just told her that I just realized that mine will be expiring by July.
Yeah.
So getting to July, I will just prepare myself to go renew my temple recommend because I need to be at the house of the Lord at all times. So thank you guys.
Thank you.